A few weeks ago, I was talking with the consciousness researcher, Danny Goler. Now, if you watched the first episode, you know Danny and I have been exploring a question together. And if you haven't watched, go back and watch it. It's kind of important. Hey, what comes after competition? What kind of game does humanity need to play if we're going to build something that lasts longer than our own lifetimes? But during that conversation, Danny took the discussion somewhere that I wasn't expecting. He introduced a term he calls cognitive physics. Whoa. Now, before some of you roll your eyes and think, great, another made-up phrase, stay with us for a second here. Because what caught my attention wasn't the term. It was the question hiding underneath it. And Danny asked something that I actually think is very profound. If gravity has laws, if thermodynamics has laws, and electromagnetism have laws, why would consciousness be the one thing in the universe that doesn't? Now notice what we're not saying. We're not claiming consciousness is magic. We're not claiming we've solved the mystery. We're not claiming neuroscience is wrong. We're simply asking a question. Could consciousness itself operate according to discoverable principles? And the more I sat with that question, the more I realized how strange our assumptions really are. So think about it. Every single thing you've ever experienced has happened through consciousness. Every memory, relationship, every scientific discovery, belief, fear, hope, everything. And yet most of us spend no time asking what consciousness actually is. We just assume it's happening. And Danny's work keeps circling back to a fascinating possibility. What if consciousness isn't random? What if there are patterns? And what if there are guardrails? What if there are lawful tendencies that shape how experience unfolds before us? Now, this is where things get interesting, because modern neuroscience is incredibly good at studying the brain, and that's important. But Danny's question is slightly different. He's asking, what are the rules of cognition itself? Not merely the brain is doing, or what the brain is doing, but why experience appears the way it does, why perception works the way it does, why awareness seems organized rather than chaotic. And believe it or not, some respected thinkers have been asking similar questions. Researcher Hoffman has argued that what we perceive may not be reality itself, but something more like an interface, a user interface, a simplified representation. Not reality as it is, but reality as it's useful for us to perceive. Okay, citations are down below here. Now, whether he's right or wrong isn't the point. The point is that the question itself, it changes everything. Because if perception is an interface, then what are the rules governing that interface? And suddenly, we're no longer talking about philosophy alone. We're talking about investigation. We're talking about inquiry. We're talking about whether consciousness might someday become something that we can study in ways we haven't yet imagined. And one of the reasons this caught my attention is because for nearly 3 decades, I've spent my life observing people, different backgrounds, different challenges, different stories. And one thing I've learned is that human beings are not nearly as random as we like to think. Patterns emerge, organization emerges, relationships emerge, meaning emerges. Something seems to be organizing the experience. And the question is, what? And that's why I think Danny's idea is worth taking seriously. Not because it provides answers, but because it asks a better question. And here's one thing history teaches us. It's that breakthroughs rarely begin with answers. They begin with the right questions. So let me leave you with Danny's question. What if consciousness has physics? What if there are rules hiding beneath the experience itself? And if that's true, well, how would we ever test it? Because that's exactly where we're going next. Hey, I'm Dr. Chad Rohlfsen, and this is Signal Drop. It's a collaboration with Danny Goler, and the questions are only getting bigger. So I hope you stick with us. Hey, give me a like and a follow, and share this with anybody who you may think might find this interesting, right? Okay, this is well over 3 minutes. The algorithms hate me, so just push it out, okay? It needs some help. And I screwed up on the first video because I didn't push the right buttons and collaboration stuff, so we're trying to get all that handled. So, hey, if you have a cat out there, give that cat a little snuggle from me. Have a great day, folks. Bye-bye.